We're going to answer this question before us. It's taken from VCAR 2017, Northern Hemisphere, Paper 1, Question 5. It says, Yvette needs to buy a total of 9 pens and markers. 5 pens and 4 markers will cost $31, and 4 pens and 5 markers will cost $32. Let P be the cost of the pen and let M be the cost of the marker. Consider the following matrix equations. So here they are. What we need to figure out is how many of the matrix equations above could Yvette solve to get a matrix that contains the price of a pen and the price of a marker. Okay, so let's give this a go and see how we go with it. All right, so let's come over here. The first thing that we're going to have to figure out here is our equation. So as you can see, I've got 5 pens and 4 markers and 4 pens and 5 markers. So straight away, you should be able to generate your matrix equations here. So it's going to be 5 pens, 4 markers, 4 pens, 5 markers. And this is going to be multiplied by MP for markers and pens. Oh, sorry, PM for markers and pens here. Because remember, it's pens first, then markers. So P first, then M. And this is going to be equal to 31 on 32, like that. So remember, what we're trying to do here is we've got A, we've got X, and we've got C. We're trying to figure out for X here. So to do that, we're going to go, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply this side by the inverse of A and multiply this side by the inverse of A. So that means what I'm going to get is X is equal to C multiplied by the inverse of A. That's what I'm after here. So I've got to figure out, all right, which of these give me this? So having a look here, if I was to rearrange this, what would it look like? It would look like I've got, and let me do this in black. I've got P of M, which is my X, is equal to whatever the inverse of A is. Now, what's the inverse of A? Well, we can figure this out kind of quickly. We can say it's 1 over the determinant. 5 by 5 is 25. 4 by 4 is 16. 25 minus 16 is 9. So this will be 9. So what I did there, if you're a bit curious, to figure out the determinant of A, I simply went 5 5s are 25 minus 4 4s are 16. My determinant is equal to 9. So therefore, I went 1 on 9, and I'll actually do this in red to keep the colors the same here. I've gone, it's 1 on 9, and then you've got to figure out how to find the inverse of this thing. So 5 and 5 swap positions. 4 and 4 change their signs. And then we're multiplying that by C here, which is 31 on 32. So that right there, people, is my answer. That is my answer. So now I've got to figure out, which of the options before us will give us the answer. So let's have a look and see what happens. All right, looking at this first one here, it's telling me that P of M, which is good, that's what I had, P of M, is equal to, now it's saying the inverse of A. So this hasn't figured out what the inverse is. It's just saying, take the inverse of A and multiply it by 31 on 32 matrix. That's exactly right. So that one works. Because each of these elements here is correct. Let's come to the next one. I've got P of M, which is good. Then I've got negative 1 on 9, sorry. Sometimes I get n's and 9s mixed up. Negative 1 on 9. Well, look, it should be 1 on 9. What's this negative doing? That's wrong. Then we keep on looking at it. It's got 4 and 4, where it should have 5 and 5. Then it has negative 5 and negative 5. That's wrong. And then look here as well. It's got 32 on 31, where it should be 31 on 32. That's wrong. This whole thing is wrong. Let's look at the next one here. Well, it's got P of M. That's good. Then it's got, well, see how it's got 32 on 31 on this side and not on that side? The order is wrong here. Wrong order. Remember, the order is important. It has to be the inverse of A multiplied by C. So because the order is wrong here, this is wrong. The last one here, that's good. All they've done here is they've taken 1 on 9 and multiplied it with each of these. So for instance, 1 on 9 times 5 is 5 on 9, negative 4 on 9, negative 4 on 9, 5 on 9. That's correct. But then look at the last bit, 32 on 31. It should be 31 on 32. That's wrong. So how many of these worked? Only one of them worked. Only this one worked. The rest were wrong. So that means our answer will be B, 1. All right, that's how you approach that question. Hopefully it made sense, and I'll see you later.